Hey folks, Matt from Questionis Eruptus. Have you ever wondered how you could hack your travel so that you don't have as much adverse effects from flying and changing time zones and all the things that can make it a little bit difficult to do extended travel or long flights? Well, one of our readers, Travis Allison, he wrote in and asked exactly that question. He said, what are your top travel hacks to avoid things like jet lag, upset stomach, and other negatives that can be associated with travel and flights? So first off, and number one, speaking towards your comment about upset stomachs and things like that, is to eat right before your flight. Don't eat a huge bloated meal. Don't eat a bunch of garbage. Eat healthy. Eat right before the flight, and don't drink too much either. Don't have that super extra large latte, because as soon as you get on the plane, you know what's going to happen. If you eat right and you eat healthy, you're going to have a lot less problems with indigestion and an upset stomach and other nasty bowel problems that might arise. Number two is tied into eating right, and that's avoiding negative foods. Foods that are going to leave you feeling bad, bloated, upset, and ill on the plane. Avoid greasy foods, avoid high sugar sodas and other drinks like that. Avoid large amounts of coffee. You may find the caffeine leaves you far too wired on your plane ride. Not only that, you're going to be heading for the bathroom. So think about the things that you know adversely affect you in general or specifically, and don't eat those before you get on the flight. Our third tip is tied into eating right, but it's to do with what we drink. And basically the tip is to just drink water. Number one, you want to stay hydrated, because if you're dehydrated, you're not going to feel well. You can be tired, fatigued, all sorts of nasty things that can go along with dehydration. But if you just drink water, you also won't be wired from caffeine. You won't have sugar highs, fluctuations in your blood sugar, all the negative things that can go along with many other liquids and beverages besides water. Water, as long as you have a good, clean source of it, preferably something like an RO, reverse osmosis filtered water, or buy good quality bottled water, is going to be the best thing for you. It's going to keep you hydrated, it's going to keep you healthy, and it's usually the least expensive and the healthiest thing that you can drink. Number four is to not just sit there. Don't just sit in your seat the entire time and not move. You're going to feel fatigued. You're going to feel stiff and sore. If you get up, if you move, if you do some stretches, if you walk up and down the aisle, if you do some calisthenics, there's lots of different things you can do to get your body moving, to get your heart rate up, to get your blood flowing, and to get your lymph system flushing through the body. These are all going to make you feel better, more energized, less fatigued, cramped, sore. It's going to minimize all those things on your flight, and you're going to get off the plane feeling a lot better than if you just sat there the entire time and didn't really move or get your body in motion. At a bare minimum, do something. Get yourself in motion at least every hour, ideally every half hour or even every 15 minutes. The more exercise, the more movement you can incorporate into your flight and keep yourself going, it's going to make you feel better when you get off the flight, and it's just going to make your whole flight experience more enjoyable and less debilitating. Number five is tied into exercise on the flight, and that's when you get off the flight, you want to make it a priority to get out and at the very least go for a walk. Walks are fantastic. They're healthy. They get you outside. They get you into the sun and into fresh air. You've been just cooped up in a canned box, a big can. That's essentially what the airplane is. Canned air. You're breathing everybody else's germs, albeit through a filtration system, but how effective is that? So as soon as you get off that plane, you want to get the fresh air, you want to get moving again, you want to benefit from being outdoors, from the sunshine, and again, just getting your body in motion. Walks are just an incredible way to energize your body, to connect with nature, to keep yourself connected to the earth, and just feel better in general. It's very hard to be in a bad mood when you're going for a long walk. Even in bad weather, I've been out having a walk and just feel better when I get back. And this is something that you can incorporate after your flight. As soon as you get off the flight, make it a priority to get out there and get some exercise. You can go to the gym. You could do any other type of exercise as well. But the easiest thing that doesn't require any money and you can start doing right away is to go for a walk. The added benefit is if you go for a walk around the area you're staying, you can familiarize yourself with your surroundings while you're getting that exercise and getting yourself feeling better after your flight. Another little tip that might help, and this is number 6, is to try and set your sleep times to the destination that you're going. In other words, if where you're going is 6 hours ahead, then try adjusting that time clock back home a day or two or even earlier ahead of time so that your body is used to. You're changing your internal clock to match so that it's less of an adjustment when you get there and that you're not lying there at, say, 11 o'clock at night with your body thinking it is 5 hours or 6 hours earlier, which is what it might have been back home. It's a little tip that can help out a lot, especially with making sure that you get some good sleep while you're away on your trip. Number 7 has to do with sunlight. If you're traveling east, expose yourself to sunlight in the morning. If you're traveling west, expose yourself to sunlight in the evening. This is going to help your internal clock sync itself with the new time zone you're in. Give it a try. You might be surprised at just how effective it is at helping your body acclimatize to a new time zone when you've flown a significant distance. Number 8 is once again tied into number 7, and that's make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sleep a priority. Don't be out all night, or if your body's having trouble adjusting, don't just be not worrying about the fact that you're not sleeping. Make adjustments to make sure you're getting enough sleep. If you get enough sleep, you'll be healthier, you'll feel better, and you will adjust better to a new time zone, and you'll just enjoy your trip better altogether. A couple of things that can help with this. Melatonin. I'm a big fan. I don't take it regularly, but once in a while, especially in a situation where you're changing time zones, where you've traveled somewhere, it can really, really help trigger your brain that it's time to go to sleep, especially when your brain's having a hard time adjusting from the previous time and the new time when you've changed time zones. Another little tip that I find works very well is taking one of the herbal sleepy teas. I'll put a link below. You can check out the one that I like, but there's lots of them on the market. Choose one that you like. Experiment with them. Find one that works for you. Again, the one I use is down below. You can click the link in the video description if you just want a quick recommendation. They can really help you get to sleep, especially if you've just got off the plane and your body's having a little trouble trying to adjust. Used in combination with melatonin, I often find the two together can get me to sleep right away, and I don't experience any negative effects from the flight and a change of time zones. Switching over to cost, the cost of your trip, the cost of your flight, try using a VPN, a virtual private network. It'll mask the area where you are when you're online, and sometimes you can get a better price on your ticket because the airlines or the website where you'd be purchasing your ticket from can be adjusting the price based on where you are located. Using a VPN allows you to mask where you're located so that the website can't see that. You might even want to try it from a couple different locations, maybe a few, and see what the lowest price you can get is before you hit that buy button. Check it out. A lot of people have found it to work, and it may just save you a few bucks. Another travel hack or tip to protect your belongings, to help protect you from having something stolen, or if something is stolen, is to take a picture of everything you have in your bag, essentially a little catalog of everything you've got with you, so that you can use this to, if you have to report a theft or to make sure something hasn't been taken either out of your room or out of your bag. It's just helpful because you can take as many pictures as you need. They're on your phone, and you can use those as a little instant catalog that you can check back to and say, oh, something's missing or something's not, reassure yourself. Or in the event of a nasty situation where something has been stolen, you have documentation of what you have with you if you need to report it to the police or to the hotel administration or other authorities. Speaking of bags, try traveling light. This is something I've gotten into the habit of doing, and that's to only take a carry-on. I try, if I can at all avoid it, not to take a checked bag. In other words, the only bag I have with me is the one that's over my shoulder and that goes in the overhead when I get on the plane. Makes things a lot easier, makes for no lost luggage because you're not having to wait and see and make sure your luggage got there that was checked, and it allows you to get off the plane and get going instead of waiting around, waiting for your luggage to be unpacked and then waiting on the carousel to pull it off. It just makes things a lot easier. If at all possible, travel light. only carry a carry-on. Speaking of your luggage in your bag, try packing a bar of soap in your bag. Not only does this allow you to have the soap that you're used to and that you like to use with you, it's also going to make your clothes smell good. You'll open everything up and everything smells fresh and clean. There's no limitations with hard soap, a bar of soap, on an airplane like there are with liquid soaps, so you don't have to worry about that. You can actually pack as many as you want to take with you. It's a quick little tip that'll leave you and your clothes smelling good. And last on our list of all the travel hacks and tips that we've compiled for you is to get local currency at a local ATM, a local bank machine. Basically, this can help avoid a lot of undue expense in converting cash to other currencies. Hotels and various places can charge you quite excessive fees when you convert money. And usually, if an ATM is connected to one of the major networks like Maestro or Cirrus or Plus, you should be getting a quite fair exchange rate, most of the time better than what you're going to get at the hotel or other places, and save yourself some money. Remember, too, that with an ATM, you're going to get charged for every withdrawal. So it's a good idea to know how much you're going to need for your trip and take it out in one lump sum, or maybe split it up into 2 or 3 as opposed to constantly going to the ATM for every single purchase, every time you need a few bucks for this or that. It's going to save you some money as well. So you'll save money on ATM charges and you'll save money on currency exchange using an ATM connected to a major network. So that's my top travel hacks or travel tips, and hopefully they're helpful. But I want to know what you guys think. Are there some tips or hacks that I've left out that I haven't included here? Share them with us. Leave a comment below. Share your tip or your travel hack with us to help Travis out and all the rest of our viewers that are watching this video to get some good tips and advice on travel. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned. We'll be back soon with more answers to your questions. And remember, if you have a question that you'd like an answer to, leave it in the comments below or write to us at questionuseruptus@gmail.com and send us your question, and we'll do our best to get an answer for you.